Hi, good afternoon. My name is Joseph Sanchez. I'm the Chief Operating Officer for the Palm Beach County School District. I want to thank you for joining us this afternoon. On behalf of the school board, Superintendent Mike Burke, and everyone here at leadership with the Palm Beach County Schools, I want to thank you and tell you how excited we are to talk to you about your beautiful new school. We're also going to share some information with you about the temporary holding school. Temporary holding schools is something that we've done for many, many years at Palm Beach County Schools. In fact, we've used Lincoln Elementary School just last year to temporarily house the students at Washington Elementary School while we rebuilt that campus. So we want to encourage you to type your questions in the chat box so we can collect those and answer them later on after the presentations. Right now, we're going to show you a brief video, and then right after the video, you're going to hear from our principal, Ms. Mitchell.
It is extremely exciting. It's a new school, new environment, new life, new vibe, and the students are ready, as well as our teachers.
The major difference between the existing campus and the proposed campus is that the existing campus has almost a dozen buildings, and the new campus is going to be reduced down to one single classroom building that it houses also had administration, the cafeteria, and it's going to make it a better learning environment for our students. It's going to be more secure, more safe. The newest components to the campus, technology-wise, are the EPIC sound system, which is the public announcement system, as well as the smart boards that are going to integrate two into each classroom. The original campus was built in the 1960s. Now we have better wind codes, we have better energy codes, we have better water codes, we have everything that's going to be more sustainable for our campus, for our children, for their future. And our students deserve the best. Currently there's a lot of congestion around the school, and we've expanded the parent drop-off loop to try and eliminate that.
We want to be and have been dedicated to having a commitment of excellence and equity within our building, and this new building will allow for that.
During the Grove Park modernization construction, the teachers, staff, and students will be held at Lincoln Elementary School, utilizing that as a holding school location during that year. The planned start of the project is this summer, and the planned finish is August of 2023.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Grove Park parents. Welcome to our town hall meeting today. And you will be able to get a lot of questions answered. We've talked a lot, but now it's coming into fruition now as it relates to the temporary school, transportation, all of those pertinent things that you've had questions about. We will first have our first presenter, Senior Project Administrator, Mr. Judd Adams.
Thank you. I'm going to speak first on the temporary school at Lincoln Elementary. Lincoln Elementary is a unique school. It has an entire second floor that we're going to be able to dedicate to Grove Park and all of the students there. It was just used as a temporary school for Washington Elementary last year, and they utilized a similar layout of the upper floor for the temporary holding school, and that keeps us isolated and separated from the Lincoln Elementary below. And there is going to be a little bit of overlap for some of the more common areas, but to speak on that, I'm going to pass it over to Allison with School Food Services, and she's going to talk about the cafeteria.
All right, thank you very much. I'm Allison Monlo, Director of School Food Service, and I want to let you know that we're here to continue to provide your students with great breakfasts and nutritious lunches. That will still be the case while we're at Lincoln Elementary School. You do have a duplicate kitchen and serving lines so that the students from Lincoln Elementary and your school will be going through different serving lines and also have a divided dining areas where they will be dining. So it will be a great atmosphere for your kids there in the cafeteria. And I'm going to pass it over now to Shane Searchwell and Jerry Nyman from Transportation.
Good evening. I'm Shane Searchwell, Director of Transportation, and I'm here to make sure you know we're committed to providing transportation specifically for your students. We do understand that this is not occurring by your choice, so we must provide this transportation to all students. The students who are currently riding the bus will utilize their same stops. The students who live within 2 miles of the school, though, we will be putting bus stops along Military Trail at all the intersections of the other cross streets. And we will definitely be communicating to you guys exactly where those stops will be, the stop times, and all the bus information as we get closer to the start of school. By the time the students leave for the end of this year, you will definitely have some of that information. And just to make sure we communicate openly to you guys as well, we would like for students, as you get closer to the start of the next school year, to make sure you register your ride. Register your ride will make sure we don't end up with bus overcrowding, and we can be more efficient in dedicating a bus and a driver despite the current driver shortage. We will make sure your students have a ride to this holding school.
I'm going to mention real quick. Yep, and real quick about register your ride. It can be done through SIS, but if somebody doesn't have a computer or has a hard time, we have a call center, and the call center can also register students. So everybody will be able to register, and we typically do this about 2 weeks before school starts, and that allows us to have the correct number of buses, so we don't have any overcrowding issues.
And we will be sticking around for any questions that you may have at the end of the presentation. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Juan Socorro. I'm with Siskovich Architects, the architect of the school. Right now, we're looking at a view from the southwest corner of the site, showing the entry plaza into the school. This is creating a park-like setting, taking the cue from the name of the school, Grove Park. And this is a single point of entry at the corner of Military and Investment Lane, leading you into the front covered entry of the school. This is a new 2-story, 77,000 square foot state-of-the-art facility. These are views from the southwest corner again, from the entry plaza leading up into the main entry of the school. This is showing the admin area and the covered entry off to the right-hand side. These are views from the south, from Investment Lane, looking at the main 2-story classroom portion of the building. This is where all of the classrooms are located, right off of Investment Lane. And this is also a view looking at the parent drop-off and the main parking area. These are views. The one on the top is from Military, looking at the new bus drop-off loop. Bottom left-hand corner is a view from the southwest, looking down Investment Lane and at the new parent entry, parent parking, and drop-off loop. And then the one on the right is showing the view from the north, looking at the wonderful wide open play areas and courts, which will all be brand new once the site is redeveloped. This is a aerial view of the site plan showing the entire site with the long drop off for the parents and the drop off in front of the school. This is basically creating double the length of what is currently at the existing school and getting the traffic off of Military and onto Investment Lane, which is a feeder road. And then these are some interior views showing the main administration reception area, a view of the new music classroom, some views of the typical classrooms with proposed furniture layouts, very flexible spaces. And finally, a view of the brand new dining room and stage area with lots of natural light to create a wonderful, bright space for the kids. And if you have any questions, please go ahead and reach out.
Thank you, parents. If anyone has any questions about any of the topics that we have gone over, I know you all have had some burning questions in meetings prior, but anything about school food service, transportation, now is the time to ask. And if we don't get you in before our time frame is up this evening, we will, at the school, we definitely can take any information that you may leave us today, but we definitely will answer any of those questions or feed them to the proper departments. Can you? It does look beautiful. We are very excited. Any questions about the temporary school that will be at Lincoln? And we encourage every single parent. We really need, you all know how much of a problem we would have at our school with parent drop off. Well, it will be double that. Imagine that, trying to get us into Lincoln space. So we definitely want everyone to register. It's very important that we do that. There will be more than enough buses. We've gotten a lot of your surveys back to indicate many parents will be coming back, but we definitely need for you to have a mindset to be on the bus for next year.
Would you like me to answer this question? Will there be a gymnasium? Unfortunately, the district standards do not allow for gymnasiums at elementary schools. They only show up at middle schools and high schools. So no, we will not have a gymnasium, unfortunately, at this school.
But we did have a very beautiful pavilion. I think we had shown in one of the slides, and if we didn't, we'll send that information home, some of those still pictures so you can be able to see. It will be a very nice atmosphere for PE and such, but there will be a nice pavilion out back. And beautiful redone playgrounds. Any other questions, parents? And we thank those that have come on time today. We definitely welcome everyone, but we wanted to get more people in with those burning questions. No questions. It's a quiet crowd already.
That was for you, Shane and Jerry.
That's it.
Or are they still figuring out bus routes?
The bus routes, as I mentioned earlier, will be finalized by the first week of May. We should have some additional information to share with the school, and we will get that information out to the parents as well as to where those bus stops will be within the current 2-mile walk zone.
That's great. That'll give us more than enough time, parents, to be able to prepare. We won't have to wait until school starts. So this will be a good opportunity for us to have all of our information and to be really ready. By mid-June, we should be ready and to finalize most things as pertains to your student coming to Lincoln on the bus. Any more questions? We didn't talk about food service. I guess you all know that that kind of stays the same, but we will have our own, it'll be Grove Park and then the other school as well. So nothing changes. You know, we still have quality lunches and breakfast. We want everybody to eat breakfast being on the bus. We want to make sure that they're eating breakfast before they go to class. So with that, we have the dedicated kitchens, duplicate serving lines, and then the divided dining area. So there is no interaction with the other school, which is so nice, gives us that our own intimacy in being a school within a school. So we love that as well. Any more questions, parents? We're gonna.
All right, so here's another question. The call center number.
We'll make sure we post that up for everyone as we share the route information as well, because we know communicating that stuff ahead of time. It's right now it's 357-1110, but we'll make sure we post all the information out as we get closer, so it's fresh in your minds. And we have done this 3 times within the past 2 years. We recently did Washington, Verdi, and Addison Meisner. So we're positive that the information will be out to you, so you won't have any problems as it pertains to transportation.
Just repeat that number one more time again, Shane.
I think it's 357-1110.
So the question is, when will all this be taking place? So the school will be moved this summer, and students will start at Lincoln Elementary School in August, and the new school will be built over that time period and open in August of 2023. So August of 2023, students will be back at Grove Park in the new building. I wanted to add in there also, all the buses now have Wi-Fi in them as well. So that's kind of extended the classroom. So the students who have not had the opportunity to ride buses, you're coming at a good time, because they have that Wi-Fi, so they can start their homework on their way home and finish it on the way to school if necessary. So, Ms. Mitchell, you want to address the issue about registering for the school?
Sure. Registration still will take place up until May 31st. It'll take place here at Grove Park. After that, we'll then be able to do a lot of things electronically, but technically we'll be moving to Lincoln to be fully operational for the summer in June, early June. So we will be able to take registrations for next year at Lincoln as well. The school schedule will remain the same. Yes. Hi, Mr. Smith. We won't have a staggered start time, no.
No, he's asking if the 2 different schools will have 2 different start times and 2 different finish times. I think that's the question.
Well, we already have two different times, so we're 8 to 2:05, and they are 8 to 2:35. We haven't entertained any other staggering because we're going to have all of our students on the bus to eliminate any traffic jams, and our teachers will already be on campus. Any other questions? Thank you for all those that have attended today. All right. Well, if we don't have any further questions, any parents, if you've had some parents that are still at work that haven't been able to make it to this session, we do have our Spanish session directly after this and our Creole session as well. So we want to make sure that if you want to go ahead and be a part of that live show, you are welcome to. And any questions for the school, we definitely you can always call the school and or email. We'll put our email. You could put my email address actually. At the temporary school, Ms. Benho. Judd, can you answer that?
Absolutely. There will be a separate entrance for the Grove Park students at Lincoln Elementary. Lincoln Elementary has a main campus entrance. If we can pull up the slide, slide number 2, I can point it out. So the main entry point is at the South Center location of Lincoln, and we are going to have a room. So if you look at this little loop here, the small loop at the very center right there, the main entry point is there for parents going to their administration wing. We are going to have a dedicated room just to the left of right around that area that is going to be acting as the Grove Park administration at the ground floor. But most of Grove Park will be upstairs in the second floor. So as opposed or in relation to a separate entrance, yes, for when parents come to the schools to pick up kids or to be part of anything on site.
Yes, there will be after school aftercare at Lincoln for Grove Park students. That would be our Grove Park aftercare as well as 21st Century. And we also will be holding those 2 aftercare or summer camps during the summer as well at Lincoln. So if you hadn't received the survey about your interests, you can contact Ms. Francis and or the front office to inquire about this summer if you're interested, and or registering for next year. There will be aftercare. I think you're in private. Who is it, Janie?
Mr. Sanchez, it appears you're muted.
I'll just read the question.
Oh, sorry, I thought you were talking.
Just read the question. So Shane, I don't know if you want to answer that, but it's a partnership between the transportation and the school, right? So
Exactly. So we'll be working with the school to resolve any challenges that come about in terms of behaviors and stuff like that. We definitely, like as Mr. Sanchez said, it's a partnership with the school. As I mentioned before, we had 3 runs with this with Verdi, Washington, and Alice Meisner. And we worked with all 3 principals to address issues of this type, and they were very successful. So we didn't have any challenges. We're expecting this to be a smooth run. The key is to make sure we have dedicated buses and dedicated drivers to make sure once we have that in place, which we will, we should not have any challenges.
First day at Lincoln will be, for regular school, will be August 10th. August 10th. We also have a link, if there are no more questions, we have a link that you can click on for any future questions you may have. You just would choose which category your question is regarding, and we'll definitely get back to you. Okay, it appears we've answered all of our questions, and we thank everyone for coming out today. Again, that link was up that will allow you the opportunity to ask any questions, even if it's this evening. You have my email address as well, or call the school in reference to anything you may think about overnight, this evening, tomorrow, or henceforward. We can provide those answers for you, okay? So we look forward to everyone. Make sure you look out for summer camp information if you're interested, and or the first day of school, August 10th, but we want to register. That's the most important thing, getting registered for the bus, okay? That form that you see in the chat box, that is that survey. So if you have further questions, you'll click on that and choose a category in which your question is referring to, and we'll give you a response. And thank you, Grove Park community, all of those that came on today, and all of our teachers that are showing support for our first live YouTube show here. It was great. We thank you all for your support, and we can't wait until we get into this new school. Thank you all.